Restoration of integrity. Integrity is when you do something that you promise. So if you promise to be somewhere on time, you're there on time. And over time, one builds trust when one follows through with one's word. Integrity is important when you are working in teams or with relationships, and when you're leading, because trust is very important to get things done. I try to do what I promise as much as possible, but sometimes it's not possible, and then I make sure I let the person know I'm not going to be able to follow through with something. And when people aren't able to keep a promise to me, I am accepting of that, because life happens. But sometimes if I'm working with somebody and they consistently don't show up when they said they would, what I've done is I kind of put people in categories, and people who don't show up consistently, I just lovingly call them a leaf. Like a leaf blows in the wind and it'll fall somewhere, and sometimes it just keeps blowing by. You never know. So I don't depend on leaves to be part of my team if I'm working on a project, but they still have a role and a purpose. And I'm grateful if they show up, and that's just extra hands to get the project completed. Restoration of integrity. So if I'm somebody who doesn't follow through on my word, I need to apologize to the person, and I also need to let them know going forward how things will be different, so I can restore trust or restore my integrity. Or and it's important for me to acknowledge my sacred no's and yeses. So I think I sometimes get myself into trouble because I don't have a sacred no. I always try to people please and say yes, and then I get into a situation where I'm not able to deliver, and that makes me not feel good about myself and leaves the other person hanging. So going forward, I am going to work more on my sacred no's, and that way I will have less to do when it comes to restoring my integrity.